Hi guys, I'm just testing this audio for you. Hopefully we can puzzle through this.
It's about a 15-second delay, so just so you know.
Okay, so we are live at the moment. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please feel free to do so. What's that?
That's it coming through.
Oh, it's working! We're back! Woohoo! Yay! I'll catch you soon. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for persevering with me through that little audio issue. We are back in the room. So I got for you today this most, as I was saying, but you couldn't hear me. I've got for you today this most gorgeous, releasing, relaxing, soothing stretch class. We're going to utilize lots of different kinds of stretches. Bear with me one moment while I just mic myself up. I've had to do a switcheroo with the mic. So it's now, in case of hiding all these cables away so they don't get in a tangle. How are you doing? Leave a little note in the comments. Let us know. How are you today? What's new? What's new, team? I'm feeling good. I have been doing some Patreon exclusive classes this week from up in the Highlands of Scotland. Really, really beautiful scenery. Amazing to deliver classes from up there, especially for you. If you want to join us for that, you can head to patreon.com/Little Egypt Studio. We've got an entire tribe having something of a riot of fun, dance, fitness, and wellness. So within this class, as I was saying to you, start with a small movement pattern. We can grow it out from there. Work within your own body's limitations, your own physiology. Do what really feels boosting for you today. By the end of the class, you're going to have dissolved any tension to your body. You're going to feel lighter and just all the more you, tuned into your inner stillness, flexible, ready to go. We're going to be here around about half an hour. Hopefully you can join me for all of that. And this will eventually appear in the playlist that's there as well if you would like to revisit it. So let's get some chat going in the comments. If you've got any questions at all, I'll answer those at the end. I'm going to dive in after class and answer your questions. And if you enjoy the class, do feel free to subscribe and join us next time. If you hit that little notifications bell, it'll tell you when we're live next. And so, now I did just have to utilize this device to fix the audio issue we were having. So I'm going to plug this back in. So what I was describing to you is during this class, today, if you've got something like, I'm using this bolster cushion, but you could use a rolled up towel is really good, or a rolled up blanket. We're going to utilize that in one, possibly two of the stretches. So coming to your mat, spread out through your toes. Place your feet one at a time, toes down onto the ground, all the way out towards your little toes. The outer edge of your feet touches the mat. Place your heels, lift through your arches, bend through your knees. Soften, bring your hips into neutral, align through your spine, lift through your rib cage towards the sky. Round with shoulders. And we're going to start with this gorgeous shoulder roll. Bring the shoulders all the way down low, forwards, bring them up and back. So you might want to have some hydration handy, lots of good quality hydration, some filtered water, whatever works for you. And I also like to have a hairband that I'll just keep on my wrist just in case during some of the stretches I want to pull all of that hair out of the way. Here we're going to start to roll the shoulder joint all the more now. So we can bring the hand out to this side and you're rotating round. You can make this bigger as you go. Bigger as you go. All the way round. Good. Let's try that on the other side. Start with a small circle, circling round. gradually making that bigger. So that shoulder joint is a ball and socket joint. It can move in multiple directions. Sometimes we don't utilize all of those directions, even in a full day. Isn't that unbelievable? That sometimes you're not using your body to its full capacity every day. Use it or lose it. You want to keep everything really in good working order throughout your whole body. Good. Both hands together. Imagine swimming up a river. Or down a river. Bring your hands up towards the sky. We're going to lengthen through our waist and our back and our belly and our spine. Tailbone to the ground. Press your feet into the ground. Lift through your fingers. Lengthen. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to gently fold. Bend through your knees. And we're just going to ragdoll out here for a moment. Allow your neck to release and relax. Allow your back to release and relax. Each of your scapula, your shoulder blades, free to release any tension that was underneath. And from here, let's gently unwind to come back up to standing position. Low back and mid back, upper back, shoulders, your neck and your head. Already feeling incredible. We can dip our head down towards our chest. Bring your ears. We're coming with this little half moon rotation through neck. Bring your chin to your chest. And out towards the other side, the ear comes to your shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, rotating that half moon. Come back into center here, and return your head upwards. Bring the hands all the way up towards the sky. Take them wide this time. We're going to take a wide stance through our feet. And here your feet are aligned with the short edge of the mat. And we're going to lengthen upwards and outwards. Take a deep breath in. And release your hands down by your side. This time, deep breath in. So we're using our pelvic floor muscles, our low abs to keep the hips in neutral. Here, you can take your heels out towards the corner of your mat. And lengthen, keeping the hips tucked under. You can feel this beginning to open up through your hips. And release that. And as you release that, this time we can forward fold. Folding out of your hips, straight flat back. And we're still warming up here, so you don't need to be a hero. Just ease yourself into that stretch. Here, if the floor is accessible to you, you can walk your hands around. Just closer towards your feet on one side, back through center. To one side, back through center. And this is really opening up through your hips, through your back, down through the back of your legs. Come in through center, other side, and into center here. And then gently unwinding back up towards a standing position. Bring our hands out wide to the side. We're going to rotate one foot round towards that top edge of the mat. Here, pick up a nice bend through there. Relax through your shoulders. You want to keep your knee in alignment with that foot so it doesn't collapse forwards like this. You're going to keep this open through your hips. Try bring the hips facing forwards. You're going to feel that deep stretch through the inner thigh, through the hips themselves. Good. From here, we're going to rotate this foot round So we can come round with our body, lift through your heel, rotate that foot round. Instantly you're going to feel this deep, deep, deep releasing stretch through the front of your hip, down through your thigh. You can stay here if you want to, or if you feel to, you can come down with that knee down towards the ground. Try and maintain a 90-degree angle through that front leg as you untuck your toes. Bring your hips into neutral, hips in alignment with the short edge of the mat, and they're round. So it's not collapsed here. You want to utilize pelvic floor, utilize your low to mid abs. Feel that deep stretch through the hip, front of the hip, and down through the thigh. Bring your hands up towards the sky, deep breath here. As you breathe out, if you'd like a deeper release, you can bring your hands down towards the side. So we've been really enjoying releasing out through psoas, muscle of the soul. And this is a really interesting, it's a fascinating muscle actually. The entire pelvic girdle is a source of much fascination. Its connection with the brain, with the gut, with the way that we feel on a psychological level. Try to keep your back nice and straight. You don't want to force anything here, just gently guiding and breathing into that stretch. And the way that we all tend to live our lives nowadays, lots of sitting, can really shorten through psoas, which can lead to numerous physical and psychological ailments. And we're just enjoying really redressing that, recalibrating our system. Take a deep breath here. As you breathe out, we're gonna shift our hips back. You can walk your hands back. You can bring one hand back over the other side of your foot. Lengthen through the back of the leg, bringing the toes up in towards you. Hips are in neutral. Again, try keep it nice and straight through your back. So you want to feel this stretch through the back of your leg. You shouldn't really feel it through your back or your hips there. If you do, you could gently bring yourself slightly upwards and find a balance point up there. But if you can, release through with your hands to the ground. Take a deep breath here as you breathe out. We're going to slide forwards and just place your toes and then return that leg all of the way back down. Onto the other side, we can take let's stay here. I felt to do another movement, but actually let's keep it nice and simple. We're going to stay here. Why overcomplicate things? Let's just keep it nice and simple. So we're going to bring this foot forward on this side, and on the other side, take it nice and wide. You can untuck your toes. And when you feel that balance point, you can come upwards. And again, you're going to aim 90-degree angle through that front leg. Good. And allow that stretch to be felt through the hip on the other side, the front of the hip, down through that thigh. Keep the hips in neutral. Use pelvic floor muscles and allow the forwards reach to create the stretch. You can bring your hands out towards the side. Good. Well done. And of course, whatever we do on one side of the body, you're doing the opposing on the other side. So, for example, here, as we stretch out through this front of this hip, on the back of the other hip, we're strengthening and toning. So you might feel that happening there. Take a deep breath in, lift the hands up to the sky. As you breathe out, if you'd like a deeper stretch, we can come down towards the mat, both hands on the same side, stretching into there, releasing deeper now through the hips, through psoas, aiming for that nice straight back. Hips are in alignment. Really enjoying releasing there. Often within any sort of stretch program or exercise, people rush through without realizing that really in order to receive all the benefits from these stretches, you want to pause there for a good length of time, a good few breath cycles, until you can actually feel the muscles release that tension. You can actually feel the muscles reset their resting length. Deep breath here. As you breathe out, we're going to gently slide the hips back. You can walk your hands back until you get midway, and you can bring one hand over the other side. Bring the toes towards you. Straight back, lengthen all the way through. Hips in alignment with the short edge of the mat. You might find that one hip wants to lead, where it kind of avoids the stretch like that and tilts one hip forwards. Try maintain that neutral direction. Releasing through the back of the leg, bring the toes higher towards you. Breathing in. As you breathe out, we're going to bring our toes down towards the mat. And you can step that foot away from you, coming into that tabletop position here. Let's open through the hips further. Let's take the feet nice and wide. This one, a really nice reward for that deep stretch we just did. Bring your hips down towards your heels. Slide your hands forwards. Bring your chest towards the mat. You can lengthen out through your back by walking your fingers forwards. And just resting in here for a moment. And now if your head was rotated onto one side, you can rotate to the other side. Rest that cheek down, or your temple, or just stay with your forehead down towards the mat. You could take a moment to readjust your hips, perhaps take your knees wider. Good, well done. Deep breath here. And as you breathe out, let's gently come back upwards. Walking your hands forwards, bring low back upwards, mid back, upper back, all the way up towards your head. Wasn't that lovely? That felt amazing. Okay, so as we come down, here, you might want to use that bolster cushion or that rolled up towel or blanket that we spoke about. So you can get that now. Feeling your hips really open now. And you might even feel that your posture has changed, where perhaps you had a pelvic rotation. We're full moon at this present moment as this is going out to you live. And so often that can actually, particularly for women, it can rotate your hips around. It's a phenomenal, well, it's a phenomenon actually. So here we're opening up through the entire hip complex to bring the hips into neutral again. So we're going to use this bolster here to create an even deeper stretch for your psoas. So what we're going to do is bring this bolster down And you're going to come down onto your mat. You're going to place the bolster just in at your hips. So as you come down, you're going to lie on your back, raising your hips up. So this is in between the very small of your back and your coccyx bone, the very bottom of your spine. So really, really resting your hips up high on there. And of course, only if this feels right for you, you can completely do the stretch without the bolster, but it's going to deepen the stretch if you do it with. Let's bring our shoulder blades down. Slide them down the mat. Allow your shoulders to really open. Here we're going to bring our palms of our hands up towards the sky. And then what you're going to do is stretch your feet out in front. Now you might want to make a readjustment with your bolster. Keep it down nice and low on your back, so it's definitely over your hips rather than in at the small of your back. It's elevating your hips. I'm going to move mine just down ever so slightly. There we go. So this might feel a little bit odd at first. It's a new way for your body. And this, believe it or not, if your bolster is in the right position, down low on your hips there rather than in the small of your back, you are already receiving a stretch. You may or may not be able to feel it, but we're opening up further through the hips. Hip flexors on the front of the body, but also through psoas, which attaches into your spine and comes round towards the front of your hip girdle. So from here, you want to have about maybe 10 centimeters between your feet. About 10 centimeters between your feet. And then we're going to bring our hands with the palms up towards the sky. Raise them up over your head. And now this is where it begins to feel all the more strange initially. See if you can, first of all, bring your pinkies towards the ground. Bring your pinkies towards the ground. So your palms were facing upwards. They are now facing downwards towards the ground, and the pinkies are close together and your thumbs are further away. They're far away from each other. So that's created a rotation through your wrist, through your forearm, and you begin to feel that deepening stretch through your hips. It's a magical stretch. And it's been around actually for many hundreds of years. We're going to rest here a moment and just allow gravity, your own breath, your own ability to be present and relaxed. Just allow that to do that gorgeous releasing work for you. So I would definitely recommend doing this stretch very regularly. You could do it every day if it feels beneficial. How do you know if it feels beneficial? Well, as soon as we come out of this stretch, and the first moment that you stand up and begin to walk around again is likely when you'll notice the benefit. You're going to feel taller, more in alignment, just lengthened and released. Okay, now that that's beginning to feel slightly more normal, let's say, feels more natural. Let's try now, as you take a deep breath in, breathing out, we're going to create more distance between our feet. So you're going to take your feet another 10 centimeters, so roughly 20 centimeters between your feet. Now, what you can do, if you're not sure what that feels like, what that looks like, you could actually lift your head and just check what the distance is.
However, over time, you will get more used to what feels about that. And if you go a little bit extra beyond that, don't worry too much. It doesn't have to be exact. So let's say somewhere between 10 and 30 centimeters between your feet. Try and keep your toes facing upwards towards the sky. As you relax, it's normal that perhaps your feet want to rotate outwards or inwards or whatever your own resting place is. However, trying to just gently guide your feet, your toes up towards the sky is going to keep that an active stretch. Now here we've deepened the stretch by bringing the feet further away in our low half. And now through your upper half, we can bring the fingers closer together. So see if you can bring your pinkies closer together. Now eventually you might want to have the pinkies touching. But if this is difficult for you to find at the moment, just bring them slightly closer together. Now at any time here you can stop, you can return your hands down by your side. You could bring your feet further apart or closer together. You can, of course, readjust your bolster. You can slide it slightly further down your body. Good. We're just going to take a couple of breaths here. I know this feels unusual. Just release and trust in this moment and enjoy new ways. Take a deep breath in. Breathing out into the stretch. One last deep breath here. As you breathe out, we're going to bring the hands back round. Take your pinkies out wide. Relax your arms, relax through your legs. Can gently bring our right hand up and over, back down towards your hips, down by your side. The left hand comes all the way round, rotating round, down towards your hips. Let's rotate the palms up towards the sky. We're going to bring our feet closer up towards our hips. Lift your knees upwards towards the sky. From here, we're going to slide the bolster out from underneath us, off the edge of the mat. Bring your hips gradually down. We're going to bring one vertebrae at a time down towards the mat, down through your upper back, mid back, low back, coming down towards the mat with your hips. Notice how much alignment you now have through your spine. Slide one foot out in front and then the other. Bring the toes of both feet in towards you. Walk your fingers down towards your toes. Shoulder blades slide down. Bring the palms of the hands up towards the sky. You are going to have alignment through your entire body, like perhaps you've never had before. Just enjoy this moment. Coming home to your own body, feeling once more fully comfortable in your own skin. Wow, feel with each breath your body filling up with joy. And as you breathe out, let's bring one foot up towards, so this could be the furthest away foot, bring it up towards your hips, the knee up towards the sky. Furthest away hand, take it out wide and cross it over the top of your body. And we're going to use those, push off with that foot, bring that hand round towards the mat, use that to push you upwards, coming up to a seated position, sitting up high, any way that's comfortable. Enjoy that alignment, that open chest feel. Bring both hands upwards, place them on the back of your head. Take the elbows wide. Elbows wide. Hands up to the sky. Hands out to the side. Take them wide. See if you can bring your hands around behind you. Imagine clasping your hands right round behind you. And release your hands down. Bring your chin to your chest. Roll down one vertebrae at a time. Coming back up into center. From here, imagine a ribbon attached to the crown of your head, and we can utilize that ribbon. Imagine just being lifted up. Lifted up. What color is your ribbon today? I'm not sure what mine is. Oh, I think it's multicolored. It's a rainbow ribbon. Woohoo! Wow. Notice how you feel in your body now. Leave a little note in the comments. Let me know how you feel now. What was your favorite stretch? What was difficult? Was there something in there that challenged you? Can you see yourself doing this up and over the top stretch with the feet apart? Can you see yourself doing that on a regular basis? I'll be delighted to answer any questions that you have, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining me.